Welcome to the Sarah Fulton Show, where the next 10 minutes can change your life. Also on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Here's Sarah.
Hi. Do you give much thought to your future retirement? And I know some of you are probably already in retirement, and that's great. There's going to be some pointers here that will help you as well. But for those of you who are not there yet and you're socking away money for your future retirement, there's a lot to think about, isn't there? And my question to you today is, will you have a shortfall in your retirement? Now, before we delve into that, let's talk about the different types of expenses that people encounter during their retirement years. So there's three different types of expenses. The first one is what we refer to as your fixed expenses. Those expenses that don't change very much, such as your mortgage, if you still have a mortgage, or maybe you're renting. So either a mortgage or a rent is kind of a fixed expense because it doesn't change from month to month. There's also a big one is insurance. And insurance could be your life insurance premiums, your Medicare premiums, your long-term care premiums, your homeowner's insurance, or if you're renting, renter's insurance, car insurance, car payments, food. Those are pretty much what we refer to as fixed expenses. Second type of expense in retirement is the opposite of fixed expenses, and those are variable expenses. Those are the expenses that can change from one month to the next. For example, your health insurance copays, your dental bills, your food, excuse me, I had an itch there. Food can change from month to month. Your travel, because you probably are not traveling every single month, or even if you were, you wouldn't be spending the same amount of money each time. Clothing, gifts, maintenance on your vehicle or maintenance on your home. Those are what we refer to as your variable expenses. And then there are the unexpected, unforeseen expenses, as well as emergencies. Now, emergencies happen, we don't anticipate them. That's why they're called emergencies, and that's why they are unexpected or unanticipated. So those could be your medical bills, your kids moving back in with you and you having additional bills to provide for them. Maybe your relatives needing financial help because maybe they are short on income. Or maybe you need to help your relatives with long-term care. Updating a home to make it more suitable for your needs as you age. That's another unexpected possible expense. Loss of a spouse, which is very sad, but it also has financial consequences. So the loss of a spouse is also the loss of another income in the household, whether that spouse had Social Security and or a pension. That is an unexpected bill, right? And living a long life. Now, people are living longer than ever before, and you can't imagine how many seniors I talk to who say to me, and they're in their 80s and 90s, and they say, I never expected to live so long. And it's a good thing that people are living longer than ever before, but we need to plan for it appropriately so that we don't run out of money before we run out of life. So that's an unexpected bill or expense, right? Living a long life. And living a long life kind of is a multiplier effect of everything else. In other words, inflation and the need for health care and the need for income. All of these are multipliers of challenges that people have in retirement. So now let's talk about the three different types of income in retirement. So first of all, most of us are familiar with Social Security. And you probably know that you can start to collect your Social Security retirement benefits as early as age 62 or as late as age 70. Regardless of that, that is a very stable and anticipated income in retirement. The second one is a pension. Now, many Americans don't have access to a pension anymore, and those who do have a pension are very, very fortunate, and hopefully their pension is very well funded and not in jeopardy. A third type of income in retirement is your own private guaranteed lifetime income plan. I'll repeat that. Your own private guaranteed lifetime income plan. So the more forms of income that you have coming to you in your retirement years, the more peace of mind that you will experience and the happier you will be in retirement. So again, the three types of income in retirement is your Social Security, your pension, and your own private guaranteed lifetime income plan. And possibly a fourth type of income in retirement could be income from a part-time job or maybe consulting work. A lot of retirees have tremendous experience in various industries, and they're able to get extra income from doing consulting work. So what can you do? What can you do to be prepared? Well, first of all, are you lucky? Do you have a wealthy and generous relative that is willing to help you out if you should be one of those people that encounters a shortfall in retirement? And if you do, consider yourself very lucky and fortunate. But most of us do not have that luxury. We do not have a very wealthy relative who is also generous. So, what can you do to make sure that if you do end up with a shortfall in retirement to protect yourself? What can you do? Well, number one, you can spend less, thereby saving more money. And you're probably thinking to yourself, my gosh, the inflation that we're encountering now is so high, higher than it's been in over 40 years. How can I possibly save under these conditions? Well, I find that a lot of people go through their day spending money without realizing it. So if you become aware of where you're spending money and maybe you're spending money unnecessarily, then that money could be saved, right? So the more you save, the better off you are, the more you have for a rainy day. So try this. Get yourself a notebook and keep track of your daily expenses. As you get in your car and you're driving to work or driving to an appointment, maybe you're stopping off for breakfast or coffee or whatever it may be, keep track of it. And at the end of the week, you could tally up those expenses and figure out how much money you have spent, maybe unnecessarily, maybe better spent on other things or contributing to an IRA or whatever it is, putting money in a savings account, whatever it may be. Another idea that you might want to consider is working into retirement, maybe delaying your retirement. Maybe your idea is to retire at 62. But what if you delayed to 65? How much more money would you have saved up? And remember that the longer you work, the more money you're leaving untouched in your 401k and your IRAs. So by delaying retirement, you're leaving more money in your accounts to continue to grow and provide more for you down the road. Whatever your income is, whether you're retired or not yet, can you discipline yourself to save? As they say, a penny saved is a penny earned, or is it a penny earned is a penny saved? I get them confused, but you get the idea, right? Maybe at some point it might make sense for you to downsize. What if you're one of those people that you've been in your home for 20, 30, or 40 years and your home has appreciated tremendously, and maybe your home is paid off and your kids are gone and maybe you just don't need the big house anymore? How much better off might you be if you downsized, sold your home, and pocketed the difference and put that money to work for you to either keep on growing or generate additional income for you? So there's always things that we can think about and do to better our financial future. Another idea that you might want to consider is maximizing your Social Security retirement benefits. Now, remember, you could start to collect as early as 62, but when you do that, you get a discounted amount. Now, if you delay to age 70, you'll get a whole lot more money in your retirement, Social Security retirement check. After your full retirement age, you get an extra 8% added to your account. That is called delayed retirement credits. So let's say your full retirement age is age 66 and you delay to age 70, so you've delayed for 4 years. Now you will get 132% of what you're entitled to, plus all of the cost of living adjustments along the way. And we just had last month the announcement for the cost of living adjustment for Social Security for next year, for 2023, and that is going to be 8.7%, which is huge. These cost of living adjustments were averaging about 1.5% to 2%, but the last couple of years, they were huge, higher than they've been in over 40 years. So Benjamin Franklin had a saying that I just love to repeat over and over and over again. People don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. And isn't it better to have a plan in place in case you have a shortfall, in case you need money for other things that you had not expected? I always like to say, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Kind of a tongue twister, right? But it's so very true. It's kind of like when we prepare for a hurricane here in Florida. We get the batteries, we get the water, we get our gas tank filled, we get everything in order so that if we are hit by a hurricane, we have all of our essentials that we need. And if that hurricane passes us by, at least we were prepared. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So have you taken advantage of my free report about financial tips? You can do that today. Just go to www.financialfitnessforever.com and you can download a free report. And also for those of you that know someone who is on a Medicare Advantage plan, please be aware that the annual enrollment period ends on December 7. So if you have a standalone drug plan or know someone who does, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan or know someone who does, this is the time to make changes for 2023. And if you need help with that, feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to assist with that. And also, I wrote a book about Medicare recently. So if you'd like the ebook, just text me at 561-302-5760, and I'll be happy to send you the ebook about my Medicare roadmap. And lastly, I want to say thank you to Tony from TRC Voiceovers for the fabulous intro and outro on the Sarah Finkelstein Show.
Knowledge is power, but only when you implement what you've learned to your own benefit. Tune in next time for even more powerful tips on the Sarah Finkelstein Show.